Struggling to keep your blood sugar in check, even though you're doing everything right? You take your insulin as prescribed, follow the routine, but something's just not adding up. What if I told you the real problem might not be the insulin itself, but how you're using it? Some common insulin mistakes might be secretly sabotaging your blood sugar control, and it's time to fix that. If you've ever wondered why your blood sugar still seems to fluctuate despite your best efforts, this video is for you. We're going to explore 5 key insulin mistakes that could be throwing off your control and show you exactly how to fix them. If you're frustrated with blood sugar spikes, dips, or simply can't seem to stay on track, this could be the breakthrough you need. By the end, you'll know how to avoid insulin timing errors, fix dosing issues, improve your injection technique, store insulin properly, and mix it the right way. The best part? These changes are simple, and you'll see results quickly. Ready to take control of your diabetes like never before? Mistake number 1: improper timing. Managing insulin isn't just about taking it every day, it's about when you take it. The timing of your insulin can either stabilize your blood sugar or send it on a wild ride. It's similar to setting a clock. If you don't adjust it properly, it won't work as expected. The right timing can make all the difference. Insulin types like rapid-acting, short-acting, and long-acting don't work the same way. Rapid-acting insulin, for example, kicks in about 15 minutes after injection. If you take it too early before eating, your blood sugar could dip too low before you eat. On the other hand, long-acting insulin, like glargine, releases steadily over 24 hours. If you get the timing wrong, your blood sugar could spike or crash unexpectedly. Bad timing can result in that dreaded blood sugar roller coaster, and that's something you want to avoid. A 2018 study in diabetes care found that matching rapid-acting insulin to meal timing reduced post-meal glucose spikes by up to 40%. This proves that syncing insulin injections with meals can significantly improve blood sugar control. Here's what good timing looks like. If you're using rapid-acting insulin, inject it about 10 to 15 minutes before eating. This allows your body to absorb it and start working before food enters your system. Don't wait until you're already eating. That's a recipe for instability. Think of insulin timing like launching a rocket. If you launch too early or too late, you'll miss your target. But get it right, and you'll have a smooth, controlled blood sugar level. People often make timing mistakes, like injecting at 11 a.m. but eating at 12:30 p.m., which creates a mismatch. Others inject insulin right when they sit down to eat, which can lead to its effects kicking in too late. And if you adjust your eating schedule on weekends or holidays, make sure your insulin timing adjusts as well. A simple exercise: track your insulin timing for a week. Write down your injection and meal times, then compare them. If they don't match up, adjust accordingly. Tighten that timing gap to stabilize your blood sugar levels, and you'll see improvements in your diabetes control. And while timing is key, there's another factor to get right: dosing. Let's talk about how getting your insulin dose wrong can disrupt everything. Mistake number 2: wrong dose calculations. Insulin dosing isn't a one-size-fits-all approach. What works for someone else might not work for you. Your insulin needs vary depending on what you eat, your activity levels, stress, and even how you're feeling. Using the same dose every time can lead to highs and lows, and we both know that's frustrating. Your insulin-to-carb ratio is key here. This tells you how much insulin you need to cover a specific number of carbs. A common starting point is 1 unit per 10 to 15 grams of carbs, but that's just a guideline. Your body might need more or less, depending on how active you are or how sensitive to insulin you are at different times of the day. For instance, you may need less insulin in the morning and more at lunch. A study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism confirmed that personalized insulin-to-carb ratios result in better blood sugar control than fixed doses. This proves that customizing your ratio is essential for stable blood sugar. How do you know if your dose is off? If you're getting high blood sugar after meals, or frequently experiencing lows between meals, that's a sign. You might also notice fluctuations, where one moment you're high, and the next you're low. These ups and downs are often the result of incorrect dosing. The first step to getting it right is to work with your healthcare provider to determine your ideal insulin-to-carb ratio. Once you have that, Start testing your blood sugar before meals and 2 hours after. Adjust your insulin dose based on your results. If you're high after breakfast, consider increasing your dose. If you're low between meals, scale back a bit. One common mistake is guessing carb amounts instead of measuring them. It's easy to eyeball your meals, but doing so can lead to miscalculations. Another mistake is ignoring how physical activity or stress affects insulin sensitivity. On active days, you might need less insulin. During stress, you might need more. Let me give you an example. Mr. Silva, a 68-year-old man, used to take 10 units of insulin every meal. But after tracking his meals and glucose readings, he realized he needed 8 units for breakfast and 12 units for lunch. With that adjustment, his blood sugar stabilized, and he felt more in control. Try tracking your carb intake and blood sugar for 3 days. Record what you eat, how many carbs you estimate you're consuming, and your blood sugar before and after eating. This data will help you understand how well your insulin is working for you and guide adjustments. Once you have your dosing figured out, you'll feel more confident in managing your diabetes. The next step is making sure your injection technique is on point. Mistake number 3: poor injection technique. When it comes to insulin, the focus is often on the type and dose. But here's something most people overlook: how you inject it matters just as much. Even with the right insulin and the correct dose, improper injection technique can mess with absorption and make it harder to control your blood sugar. Think of it this way: you can have the best car, but if you're not driving it properly, it's not going to get you where you need to go. Insulin works best when it's injected under the skin, not into muscle. Injecting too deeply could send it into the muscle, causing it to absorb too quickly, while injecting too shallow means it might not be absorbed at all. You need to get the depth just right for consistent absorption. Here are some key principles that make a difference. Pinch your skin if you have less fat in the area, ensuring the needle goes into the right spot and doesn't hit muscle. Hold the needle in place for 5 to 10 seconds after injecting. This helps the insulin fully enter your body and prevents leakage. Rotate your injection sites. Repeatedly using the same spot can cause scar tissue or lipohypertrophy, which reduces insulin absorption. A study in diabetes technology and therapeutics found that rotating injection sites reduced blood sugar fluctuations by over 20%. That may sound small, but those 20% improvements can be significant in managing your blood sugar. Some common mistakes include using the same spot too often, which leads to lumps under the skin that don't absorb insulin well. Forgetting to pinch your skin can also cause the needle to go too deep, resulting in unpredictable absorption. Injecting too shallow is another mistake, as the insulin might not get absorbed into your bloodstream properly. Lipohypertrophy, the fatty lumps that form from repeated injections in the same spot, can interfere with insulin absorption, causing uneven blood sugar levels. The best way to prevent this is by rotating your injection sites regularly. It's like giving your skin a chance to heal and reset. To stay organized, think of your abdomen as a clock face. Move around the clock every time you inject. This ensures you're not always using the same spot, helping avoid scar tissue. You can also inject in your thighs or arms to mix things up. If you're new to this, here's a step-by-step guide. Wash your hands. Choose your injection site: abdomen, thigh, or arm. Pinch the skin, especially on lean areas like the abdomen. Insert the needle at a 90-degree angle. Hold it in place for 5 to 10 seconds to ensure full absorption. Release the skin and remove the needle. Dispose of the needle safely. For easier site rotation, mark your spots with a small dot. This way, you know exactly where you've injected and where to go next. Getting your technique right is crucial for consistent insulin absorption and stable blood sugar levels. But once you've mastered that, it's time to make sure your insulin is stored correctly. Let's move on to how proper insulin storage can make a big difference in your blood sugar control. Mistake number 4: improper storage of insulin. It's not just about what you do with insulin, it's about how you store it. Insulin is a delicate protein, and just like food or medicine, how you store it directly affects its effectiveness. If it's exposed to extreme temperatures, sunlight, or freezing cold, it can break down and lose potency, which means it won't work as well. A study in diabetes care showed that insulin stored at temperatures above 86 degrees Fahrenheit 30 degrees Celsius loses potency within 1 to 2 days. Imagine that, within just a couple of days, your insulin could be less effective, leaving you with unpredictable blood sugar levels. Here's how to store insulin properly. Keep unopened vials in the fridge, 36 to 46 degrees Fahrenheit / 2 to 8 degrees Celsius, to keep them stable until you're ready to use them. Once opened, insulin can stay at room temperature for up to a month, but always check the instructions for your specific insulin. Room temperature insulin is easier to inject and reduces discomfort. Never freeze insulin. Freezing can destroy its structure, making it useless. Also, avoid leaving it in hot cars or near heat sources like heaters or sunlight. Extreme heat can break down insulin, making it ineffective. To make sure your insulin is still good, check it regularly. If it's supposed to be clear and it looks cloudy or has particles in it, it's time to replace it. If your blood sugar control suddenly goes off, it might be a sign your insulin has been compromised. Here are some practical tips. Use a portable cooler when traveling to keep insulin at the right temperature. Never leave insulin in the car or near windows, where sunlight can heat it up. Check expiration dates and replace expired insulin. Improper storage can lead to insulin that doesn't work properly, no matter how well you're dosing. If you think your insulin has been exposed to extreme temperatures, like freezing or sitting in a hot car, discard it. Using compromised insulin is worse than starting fresh with properly stored insulin. Now that you know the right way to store insulin, the next step is making sure you're mixing it properly. Mixing insulin incorrectly can also throw your blood sugar control off track. Stick with me as we dive into how to mix insulin the right way for more stable blood sugar. Mistake number 5. Incorrect mixing of insulin. When you're using more than one type of insulin, like combining rapid-acting with intermediate-acting insulin, you might mix them in a single syringe. While this can be a convenient method, it's important to get the mixing process right. Mixing insulin improperly can cause uneven absorption, which leads to unpredictable blood sugar levels. Think of it like making a smoothie. If you add the wrong ingredients in the wrong order, it won't turn out as planned. One of the biggest mistakes people make is mixing the wrong insulins together. For example, Glargine, Lantus, a long-acting insulin, should never be mixed with other insulins. Another mistake is mixing insulins in the wrong order. Always draw the clear insulin first, like rapid-acting, followed by the cloudy insulin, like NPH. This ensures accuracy and prevents contamination of your insulin vials. Certain insulin combinations, like NPH and regular insulin, are commonly mixed, but only if you follow the correct protocol. Always consult your healthcare provider to make sure you're mixing the right insulins based on your needs. Research from the Lancet Diabetes and Endocrinology shows that mixing insulin correctly leads to more predictable blood sugar control. When done right, it helps stabilize your glucose levels. But get it wrong, and it could cause fluctuations you can't control. If you need to mix insulin, here's the correct process. Draw clear insulin first, like Humalog or Novolog. Draw cloudy insulin second, like NPH. Minimize air bubbles by gently tapping the syringe. Never shake, always gently roll the cloudy insulin in your hands. The order matters because drawing the cloudy insulin first can contaminate the clear insulin vial, throwing off your dose. To avoid mistakes, make sure you're using the right technique and always clean the rubber stoppers before drawing insulin to prevent contamination. If mixing seems complicated, talk to your doctor about switching to a pre-mixed insulin pen. These pens contain the right insulin combinations, taking the guesswork out of the process. Mixing insulin requires precision. A small mistake can throw off your blood sugar control. But once you've mastered it, you'll have one more tool to manage your diabetes more effectively. Now that you know the 5 insulin mistakes and how to fix them, it's time to take action. What will you change? Will you track your insulin timing more carefully, adjust your doses, or rotate your injection sites more often? Each small change can make a big difference in your blood sugar management. Drop a comment below and let me know which mistake surprised you the most and what you're planning to try first. Have you been making any of these mistakes without realizing it? Or maybe you have some tips to share. Let's help each other out in the comments. If this video was helpful, don't forget to like it, share it with someone who could benefit, and subscribe to the channel for more health tips. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss future content. And if you want to keep learning, check out the next video. You won't want to miss it.